Hello friends, welcome to the part second of the group theory topic. In our previous video, we have discussed some basic concepts of group theory such as binary operation, algebraic structure, semi-group and monoid. Today in this video, we will discuss about groups, abelian group and finite and infinite group. So let us start with group. First of all, we will define what is group. A non-empty set G together with a binary operation star is called a group if it satisfied four properties. A non-empty set G together with a binary operation star is said to be a group if it satisfied four properties. What are these four properties? First of all, closure property. We have already discussed closure property during algebraic structure, semi-group and monoids. We again explain here. Let G be a non-empty set and A and B are the two elements of G. A and B are any two elements of G. Then G is said to satisfy the closure property with respect to binary operation star. If we take any two elements A and B of G and apply star between them, and the new element also belongs to G, then it is said to be closed, and we will say G is closed with respect to star. I again take the example of natural numbers. Suppose I take a set of natural numbers and take plus, then we will check plus is a binary operation uh, or not, and a set of natural number is closed with respect to addition or not. We take two natural numbers and apply plus between them. When we apply plus between two natural numbers, the new number is also natural number. Then we can say that set of natural number is closed with respect to addition. So we can say that the set G is closed with respect to binary operation star if we take any two elements A and B of G and apply binary operation star between them. Then the new element, if also belongs to G, then it is said to be closed with respect to G. Next property is associative law. Associative law is same as here. We will take three elements A, B, C belongs to G, and we apply binary operation like this: A star B star C must be equals to. If both these quantities are equal, then we say that G is associative with respect to binary operation star. The third and most important property is existence of identity. Identity element will be denoted by E. We will define identity as an element E belongs to G is said to be identity element of G if for all A belongs to G. It means for each and every element of A. For each and every element of A, there must exist an E such that A star E equals to A. For each and every element of G, there must exist an element E such that A star E equals to A. If this property is satisfied, then E is said to be identity element of the group. In a group, there is only one identity element, or we can say that identity element of a group is unique. We will prove this theorem later on. So here we define three properties: closure, associative and existence of identity. Next property is existence of inverse. We very well know about inverse. While studying in matrices, I give you example. If A is a matrix and B, A is a matrix of any order, suppose 2 by 2, we take, and B is the inverse of A. It may have any value. Then we know that A B equals to I, or B A equals to I. We always verify that B is inverse of A if A into B equals to I in matrices. In the same way, in the group theory, we will define inverse as an element B belongs to G. An element B belongs to G is said to be inverse of A belongs to G if A star B equals to B star A equals to identity. It means B is said to be inverse of A if A star B equals to B star A equals to E, where E is the identity element of the group and star is the binary operation on the group. We can also write as B equals to A inverse. Let us take an example. Suppose I take set of integers we will prove all this example later on. I will discuss about identity and inverse because we have already discussed closure property and associative law. If I talk about identity, then we know that 0 is the identity element satisfying if I take 0 plus A for all A belongs to I, then the value is always A. Hence 0 is the identity element in the set of integers. Now I want to ask the inverse of every element of the set of integers. Then we will know that if A is an integer and we are talking with respect to addition, if A is an element, then B its inverse if A plus B equals to 0 by using this property. B is the inverse of A if A into B or A star B equals to E. Similarly, in the set of integers, B is the inverse of A if A plus B equals to 0. Suppose I want to check the inverse of 1, then 1 plus what number? B should have, this implies B equals to minus 1. So we can say that minus 1 is the inverse of 1. In the same way, minus 2 is the inverse of 2, and we can say that minus A is the inverse for A. In the same way, we can find the inverse of each and every element of this particular set. In a group, identity element of a group is unique and it is same for the whole group, but inverse of an element, if exists, is different for each and every element. We cannot say that if 1 is the inverse of minus 1, then 1 be the inverse of that particular group. No, inverse of each and every element is different. We can say that inverse of an element, if it exists, is unique. So we have defined existence of inverse as an element B belongs to G is said to be inverse of A belongs to G if A star B equals to B star A equals to E, where E is the identity element. We can write this as, if all the above four properties, closure, first is closure, second is associative, third is existence of identity, fourth is existence of inverse, we will always use in the same order. If the above four properties are satisfied, then the algebraic structure G star is said to be a group with respect to star. So we have defined group as a non-empty set G together with a binary operation star is said to be a group if it satisfied the four properties. First is closure, second associative, third existence of identity, fourth is existence of inverse. Now we have some important note. When we say that star is a binary operation on a non-empty set G, this implies that G is closed for binary operation star. It means if we say that G is a non-empty set with respect to binary operation star, then it is automatically clear that G is closed with respect to star. So if we skip this property here, I will show you. If we skip this property here, then it will it doesn't affect on the definition of the group. We can skip it. So what I trying to say, if G, we said that if we are saying that star is a binary operation on G, then it means that closure property is automatically satisfied and we can skip it. But currently we are writing it because we are in initial stage. Next is abelian group. It is very simple. A group G is said to be abelian or commutative. Abelian group is also called commutative. A group G is said to be abelian or commutative if it satisfies commutative law. Commutative law is very simple. A star B equals to B star A for all elements of AB belongs to G. Now there are some notes. An abelian group under addition is sometimes called a module. An abelian group under addition is sometimes called a module. The second note is the smallest group with respect to any composition is the set E consisting the identity element. This is a very important question and it is asked in various interviews and competitive examinations. Which is the smallest group? The smallest group consisting the identity element only is called the smallest group and denoted by E. It contains only a single element. This is a very important point to remember. Next, we will discuss about finite and infinite group. Finite group, it is very simple and basic definition. A group is said to be finite if it contains finite number of elements, and it is said to be infinite if it contains infinite number of elements. If I am saying that set of integers is a group, then we know that set of integers contains infinite number of elements, then it is said to be a group of infinite order, and we will write at order of I equals to infinite. Now if we take any finite set such as set of cube roots of unity, this is also a group. We will prove it later. We know that it contains only 3 elements, so it is a finite group which contains 3 elements, and we will write order of G equals to 3. So what is finite and infinite group? A group G is said to be of finite. A group is said to be finite if it contains only finite number of elements, otherwise it is said to be infinite. The number of elements in a group is called the order of the group, and we will denote it by order of G. Now these are the same examples which I have already given. The set of all integers is a group of infinite order with respect to addition of integers, and if we take the set G equals to 1, then it is a finite group of order 1 with respect to multiplication. So friends, in today's video we have discussed about group, abelian group, and finite and infinite group. In next part we will discuss some important examples on group and abelian group. If you have any query, you can post into comments, and I will try to solve all your queries. Thank you very much.